What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That Game Channel. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? This is sort of a happy birthday to me. I've seen this game played on a few channels, mostly Christopher Odd and Many a True Nerd. I really love the concept of this game. This is not for broadcast. It's a game. It's on early access on Steam. It's $15 right now. It's kind of as far as I know, it's going to be kind of released episodically. I believe that's the plan. So I think about 2 hours is out right now, give take. Basically what this game is, you're running a news broadcast in a dystopian kind of future. It's the idea, all this news broadcast, everything, it's live action. It's kind of goofy humor a lot of times, but you know, it's basically our job is to keep the broadcast running. Pick camera shots. We're running the censor button and this, that, the other thing. It's a really neat game that I'm just like, man, I just don't have time to fit into my schedule. But you know, today I wasn't really planning on doing much with it. Like I said, being my birthday, it's gonna be I was just gonna basically make a backlog of videos today, just so you know, just for general uploading purposes. But I thought, you know what, I'll do one thing today, and we'll play not for broadcast. So let's just hop in, new game here. Enter game name. Well, always. There we go. Let's start. See, former Prime Minister Jacob Hamilton Mann called the election after a sex scandal led to calls for his resignation. And like I said, I've seen about the first 2 hours of this game. You know, I mean, you see the, you know, the kind of like the invisible hand, you know, pulling the strings for the character. I've not seen, I don't know, I don't think we get that much into this. Okay, so turn right.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens.
Oh, cool, so I can use... Okay.
Look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right.
Okay, let's go.
Look up to the front again.
Let's go exercise with ham sleeves. I like... Sure. It's Crazy Neil. Come on, get in the VCR. There you go. Medium-sized hall near you. I like that.
Sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on
we're
up.
all good.
The election
Next
win
is going to be
that
the throw to the
Oxford
news
said just
titles
couldn't
on screen 2.
Hopeful or
There'll be a
hostile.
countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And
Hamsleeves.
a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party
All right.
have to say on their historic.
5.
Button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3, 2,
National Nightly
1.
News.
Now, lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Okay, so we kind of have to time it ourselves. From what I know, I think after you finish the day or whatever, you can actually see like the individual cameras, like what they're talking about off screen while we're doing our, like trying to do our job, so to speak.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now, lovely,
But
mate.
first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide.
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly.
Yeah, there's something else because you have to wait for it to actually move.
Play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
We'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
I mean,
Three,
That's all coming
2,
up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
Thought I'd ask him about the election.
personnel win 20.
I can also do this and turn up, turn down
Don't
things.
worry, ladies. Now you can have me, Johnny Hamsleeve, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
All right, A+.
Wicked.
I mean, obviously that was the.
You're doing great, mate, but this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
So it's like I said, you can. I from what I know, we can actually.
Going in 5, 4.
We can actually see these guys. All the off-camera shit. After we finish the episode, so to speak.
Shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to
British
Megan on
reporter
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on
Shopflock
screen
films.
3 when she says his
Joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is a moment.
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
It's could have won without him sitting there.
Talking.
The latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
Thunder twat.
Several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not...
It's kind of cool.
...the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed.
You're trying to balance the reaction shots, when to go to the close-ups, when to go to the wide.
Giving.
Also, my sense of 10 seconds is really bad.
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which
I hit the button.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen, one for a VT of
Oh,
the movie clip.
flip.
You'll get a countdown on the screen, but
I held on the scene too long.
My character, Dr. Lods Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's...
And we're out.
Rob, get the...
Oops.
Watch out for that interference, mate.
Doctor.
I don't understand it.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that.
See, I mean, you kind of saw it. You know, I was kind of trying to play with the censor button, even though technically, I guess at this point in time, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Then I got distracted by this, that I didn't change the shots. I accidentally cut to the clip too soon.
All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
See, that's it's what I like about this game. It's slowly. I mean, obviously, it's gonna slowly throw more and more at you.
But I didn't listen.
Doctor.
But I love games like these that try and play this whole balancing act of all these different what's the term? That just generally throw these mechanics at you slowly. I love this. It's kind of a quirky idea. Obviously, it takes itself seriously, but not too seriously.
Want to play another ad? Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
From what I've seen, it slowly... It seems simple now, but it slowly throws a good amount at you. Two, one...
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here,
Yeah, we got a
is
B.
about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear.
Yeah, that's right. That's a word I'd use to describe myself. Professional.
Below the master screen. Let's set it now.
This is a crazy deal with meal appeal. You don't want no lame-ass chair. You want
Mate, if you don't turn up the broadcast volume, you won't be able to time your bleeps. Good.
Yeah, there you go.
Start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
We got it, you want it, you pay us, you want it, we got it, you want it, you want it, we got it.
See, I prefer, words are hard.
And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make.
I prefer to keep the live one a little louder.
Cut to the outside broadcast.
Go for it, Pat.
Get ready to bleep.
Great, he's drunk.
And, well, thank you all. Where do I start? Well, what a day. They said we couldn't do it. They certainly did.
What was this?
Dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard.
Remember the 10-second rule. We've already got a bit of word.
Right through their shit. Right at the language.
Oops.
Sorry.
Oh, me.
Sorry about that. That makes me coarser than the ground.
I'm trying to focus too much on the. I'm trying to focus too much on the beeping that I'm forgetting to swap scenes.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well.
What was I saying? From what I've heard from people, that it's a good idea to kind of keep your live scene a little louder than your broadcast.
Change.
Okay, there we go. I'm getting back in the hang of it.
Today is day one of a new day. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put. Again, not.
Ah, damn it! I was a little short on it.
Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the.
You know what? I'm going to turn this off. Hearing it twice is just bugging me.
We have produced a definitive list of every person.
They're just sitting there like, huh?
You know the sort of. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve and
Oh, shoot. I forgot. Twats is a swear word.
Children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
Held it down a bit long there, mate.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
See, I'm trying to look at the little lights underneath the.
And tomorrow we'll start
the screens.
Again, just like we promised we would.
Because because you're noticing how they're going like green to yellow. I think that's telling us which shot we should be using, which one we shouldn't.
Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble.
Uh-oh.
So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Not really got the hang of it, have you?
Good job, everybody.
I suggest you get some practice in, have another go, that sort of thing. I wish I could help you more, but I'm out of here. This country's fucked, mate. See ya.
Tail, this is not a dream. This is reality.
Yeah, you know, again, this is what I get for not realizing that twat is a curse word. It's not one to me. Okay, you know what? I got a B. I didn't do too bad.
It's happening now.
Okay, so my final grade overall was a B. Yeah, god awful censoring. It was interference free, and apparently the editing was just terrible. Great. I like the remix in the background. All right, so we can see okay, so we can see sequence 3, dull editing. Yeah, that's where yeah. Oh wow, you can actually see audio was successfully censored. 0 seconds of interference. Oh wow, you can actually really get it broken down. Okay, so yeah, that's where I kind of missed it at the beginning. I didn't get the full word censored. I missed the missed a word there. Partial censor, dull editing, partial censor, dull editing, perfect censor. Missed. That was twat, and I still don't get why that's a word that has to be censored. But again, that could just be me as an American. Perfect censor, dull editing. So again, it's just, I think that last one kind of showed that even if there's not, like, there's even more stuff that we have to take focus into in the future. But yeah, that's a nice little opening tutorial section.
Voicemail, I thought you'd end up here. Most people come into the archive room when they're done with a broadcast. That way you can see what you did and how it looked to the public. As you can see, there's 3 sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts. Okay, on the left you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast, you just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click load tape.
Well, in a few moments we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game.
The quotation game? Alright, I'm not going to sit through all the way through that.
And let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news. Of course, the difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens, and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment, that's any bit between ad breaks
Corn and
on
mayonnaise?
the left.
You don't see if you make me go out and pasta.
Yeah, what might increase our viewing figures?
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Oh, I love that.
The election win that...
No, it's like I said, it's really wonderfully written in a way that it's like I said, that feels natural, but at the same time it's comedic. It's exactly what I wanted.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. It's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do 1 BC interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners in advance.
I wish okay, let's get back into the game. I wish that we could that we could speed through that because I want to see us freak out at the end. But like I said, let's not spend too much time focus on that. So, all right, well, there we go. There was our first broadcast. Not too terrible. I think there are 3 broadcasts in total that we get to run, at least that's available right now. Let's see here. So this is day 3, an unexpected form. You arrive home to find posts on the mat, most being nothing more than the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Curiosity gets the better of you and you open it. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in already. Your name, Alex Winston, your spouse, Sam Winston, your children, Charles Winston, and Susie Winston, 14 and 19. The rest of the questionnaire, the questions are left blank for you, blah, blah, blah. This appears to be mandatory. So this is where the dystopian aspect comes in, because I was about to mention this at the very beginning of the game. I've not really seen a lot of the dystopian elements in the game just yet. I mean, you get them a little bit in between segments, in between segments that we run. So I don't know. I'm really curious of when this dystopian stuff is actually going to start affecting the actual broadcast. Like, are we going to be censoring material that's going to be anti the government or what? But let's see here. Question 1: upon starting a new job, you should be productive and work immediately. A colleague in a different department has confided, in you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now a file of minor importance has gone missing. Obviously, you tell our government overlords about that violation, because I wouldn't want to not tell the dystopian future overlords, Google, about that stuff. An entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in place new targets that are significantly higher than the previous ones. You would leave work on time, stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline, early head to the pub, chat about the changes with colleagues, leave work early, and head home to see your family. Well, obviously, we're going to stay late and hit the hit our targets. I mean, obviously. It's the annual company barbecue, and you and your family have been invited. Are looking forward to a nice day out with family and friends. Are washing your hair that day. Go if you're free, but wouldn't mind missing it. Have been practicing with your coworkers and think you'll win the talent contest this year. You've had a long, successful career, and now about to retire. In your speech, you'll list your achievements, give an honest review of pros and cons of the company, focus on issues, challenges, refuse to attend. In your spare time, you like to relax alone, doing things like listening to music or making models, attend political rallies, and stand up for what you believe in, encourage and support your children with their hobbies, play in your local sports teams. Let's encourage our children, because they're our future and whatnot. Your ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by natural beauty, getting away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar, and discovering new experiences and challenges. Structured day out at the theme park, bursting with thrills and attractions. Sure, why not? Romantic getaway. It is most important that the government keeps people free. Okay. Sure, let's sign our name. See, I've seen this game compared a few times to Papers, Please. I think that if anybody knows that game, it's where you basically you work you work as somebody checking passports at a border crossing. It's what a lot of people have compared this game to, and in a way, I think that's pretty accurate. Again, it's just you're on a time limit. You're trying to manage multiple things. It steadily gets more and more complex. I think it's probably the best comparison for this kind of game. Day 6 of Family Matter. It's late. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up a favorite coffee. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That just the way that's written is really odd to me. A worn-out souvenir of your first trip together. The print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. And we have a knock on the door. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table, visibly stressed. I'm so sorry for bursting in so late, Alex. Chris stammers, but I need a favor, and you're the only one I can ask. Are you okay? No need to worry, Sam. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the Assets and Wealth Act. I literally work in news, Chris. Chris fist banged the table. It's total bullshit. They're taking whatever they want, distributing it as they see fit. No government should have that kind of power. I can't believe they're actually getting away with it. Madness. Which is why I need your help. What exactly do you need? Chris' eyes seem to be resting comfortably, there we go, on the floor tiles. Look, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport. My passport? I can't give you that. It's illegal. They've taken mine in half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look so similar. Chris is pacing now. I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe. But I need to go now before they freeze my accounts. Please, Alex. I wouldn't ask if I had any other choice. Surely, there's got to be another way. I'm not giving you my passport. Chris' mouth falls open. You're joking, right? I've always done right by you and Sam. I've treated your children like they were my own. Or family. Does that mean anything to you? No! I'm not pissing off. How many times do I have to say this? I am not pissing off our dystopian government overlords. Google. Sorry, that cough is really getting to me. Fine, I'll solve this myself, Chris spits. So much for family loyalty, eh? Grabbing the nigh-on fluorescent suitcase, Chris disappears into the night. You go back to the dishes, picking up Sam's cup again. The peeling face now seems to bore into you. The knot in your stomach tightens. Day 8. The Fallout.
It's Dave! Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on. Let me just get out some flags, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts.
Shit. There we go.
Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Get new screen key with porky little twist. Alright, that's going in. Remington's fists must have... Okay. Let's throw that one in there. Why not? And we played that one last time. There we go.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again. The Navision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the Vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're
for my
off.
sister's
Good luck,
kid,
mate.
Mr.
If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Yeah, I really wish we could turn the phone up a little bit.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Love his fucking face.
Advice then?
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Night.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guess whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises.
So apparently, depending, you actually get different dialogue depending on which choice you pick.
CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who,
I want to do it.
23,
We're doing it.
the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been a wild child and has been romantically linked to several movie stars and sports personalities. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety.
Let's just say there's a reason I picked the one with the post-it note.
Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborgen-Horgensford have today
What
set
the
off to
f were those names?
Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously
I'm sorry, I'm 8
on
years
reach,
old deep down.
but
Dante's
thanks to
taint makes me laugh.
underwater flood
Leave me
technology,
alone.
The pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. Many were surprised that the two scientists, who shared a fractious rivalry for many years, decided to undertake this expedition in each other's company. However, the two have released a joint statement in which they opine geniuses don't have to like each other to achieve remarkable results.
But it's like
Rumors abound.
it's like I said, depending on which option you pick, actually it changes his dialogue and actually changes what you see in the future.
Was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very program. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much.
Angle and
I
velocity.
certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And this bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night, could this be exactly the right time for Advance's new approach? All that and mega moves with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all
4,
coming up on tonight's
3,
National
2.
News.
All right, there we go. So now while we're running this, I've got to watch the I kind of got to watch the interference and get ready to kick it back to the studio.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting?
Thank you.
Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this
I...
will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their...
I love the news presenter.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people...
Missed it.
Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote.
And again, bollocks. I didn't know I have to censor that word.
Grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is
That fucking line, man.
Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water.
I love
The
her
chemicals,
face.
they're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course.
Alrighty then.
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alan.
Fine, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
Alright, well, you're useless.
Oxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin.
Hey, A+ segment. There we go. We had a few hiccups here or there.
Will revitalize the appearance of the strength of your
Few hiccups
face's
here and there.
skin.
You know, I think I missed the censor. You know what? Not too bad.
Their visible flakes. And 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it. Jus de cochon. Because we said so.
I still didn't know you had to censor the word bollocks. I mean, I see it because, you know, you wouldn't have to censor balls on American
In our
TV.
second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked
Although, granted, that is American TV, so.
to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. The affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective.
So want to go back to
Do you
2.
think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy.
Oh, this one's really fucking funny.
Return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute
this
moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Dawson.
Spaying the badgers.
Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gimp space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this...
Where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Naughty Bob.
Clive, I am not having this again.
I just love cutting back to his face like, is this fucking happening?
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality force. And finally tonight...
A little bit of interference there.
It's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us.
Menacing a swan.
His birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Hey! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! Hey! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. There's Big Chris,
Oi, oi.
Little Chris,
Oi, oi.
and Vampire Chris.
What the fuck?
This one's, yeah?
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
It's open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh.
Titwank!
Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Jesus!
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order.
Yeah, I mean, we had a guy whose wife is leaving him, a guy with a gimp, and then whatever the hell that was. Yeah,
We'll be
that's...
back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
That went well.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed.
See, I think I only getting a B on that segment. I think I should have gotten. I think I should have scored higher, but whatever. Oh, that's not terrifying. Does anyone remember? Oh God, the thing from The Simpsons. Shoot, I can't remember.
In stores now and selling out fast.
Welcome's Black, I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of
I accidentally went to the wrong camera.
from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. I'm joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher. Maths is really important. Oh, thanks, Steve. Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle believed.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing.
Let's just focus on the presenter's face a little bit.
They touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year.
Oh yeah, be ready not to smash your viewing device into your face during that play.
All of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Put it in, Coach. Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about grants?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny, because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch...
I don't know why that's funny. It just kind of is.
In the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears.
Fears.
But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great.
Oh.
I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father.
This is fucking terrible.
I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers. What? Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Just keep going for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah.
The hell is netball?
Motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Ugh, I forgot about this part. All right. I'm preparing myself for cringe.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up.
Oh.
Who said me?
Oh, it hurts.
I ain't afraid of your cool lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew.
I have to give massive credit to those who created this.
I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner, woman?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate.
All right, less than a minute left of this.
Life's pretty hard on a council estate.
Snapping time, damn it.
On a council estate. Life's pretty hard on a council estate. It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen
I really want to go back to 3.
if you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Wait, hey, I got an A on that segment at least. Alright, so A plus B, and I got a B. Okay, so I had some dull editing, but a couple perfect sensors. Everything was just steadily moved up. Outstanding censoring, some interference, lovely editing. Little bit of interference there, and a partial sensor, a bunch of perfect sensors, some dull editing. You know what? That wasn't too bad. I feel pretty good about that one.
I see they've got the store back. That's great. I love thankless shopping. Sorry. Bit of a big night, to be honest. Anyway, over here, that's how much money you've got. You'll get more money the better the broadcast you do. These tabs take you to the bits and pieces and sections of the store. You can fix stuff, you can upgrade stuff, or you can just buy really cool stuff to put around the studio. Right, mate, final thing you've got to know, if you want to buy something, you just click on it and go ka-ching, but there's no refunds. No refunds, so take care, make sensible decisions. Don't be like Dave.
Okay, is serious call to the developers here. I would buy this bobblehead. Sell it. I would buy it. Response faster than your mom. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that has to do with the interference, maybe? So yeah, we're gonna be a little while on the grades there. The fan. I'm gonna guess that somewhere we're gonna have to worry about. Yeah, again, this is stuff that we haven't really had to deal with just yet. Decorations, repairs. But I don't think we need any repairs or anything like that because I think all our equipment's still working. So let's just keep going. The rushes. James, Law and Order.
Well, where is he? In this dressing room? What are you banging?
So I said Law and Order, not Hey Friendship.
Saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Oh shit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said I put a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Is little JD scared of the big bad culture water?
If that sticks, I'll just
5, 4, 3.
I'm serious. I love how they're trying to do. They're doing the. I'm trying to think how to put this. I love the writing in these segments. The right before the camera cuts in, right after it cuts out. I love how they're trying to throw more of that. They put effort into that writing. If that makes sense.
Who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
I just want to see what the guy's wife says to him when we had to cut away.
We are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. Helen, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
No, just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next time...
I cannot believe you, Ellen. I would have expected this from your sister, but not from you.
When are you going to realise I'm not her, Greg?
Well, trust me, between the drinking and the arse, I'm very aware.
Fantastic. All right, I'll hit continue in a second because I'm honestly I'm planning just powering through doing the entire what we have access to right now, all in one sitting. But I gotta stand up, stretch my legs for a second. Day 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, so I should have stopped at 15. I was close. A late night. You arrived home after a long shift to find a note waiting for you on the countertop. You recognize Sam's hurried scrawl. Chris has to be evicted for not paying rent. Sam's gone to pick up Chris's stuff from the street. Don't wait up, underlined twice, so this is your fault now, is it? You sulkily press play on the cheap horror film you were going to watch together. It used to absolutely terrify you as a kid, but always makes the two of you laugh. Just as you get to the good bit, the part where Candy decides to investigate alone, your 14-year-old son interrupts. He wants to go to a friend's house. He looks at you in a way only a child can, pleading but somehow defiant. Let's see here. And be home by 11. Clearly surprised, he practically races out the door. You doze in front of the movie, waiting up for his return. You start awake at the sound of a TV static. It's gone midnight and there's no sign of Charlie or Sam. It's a school night and he promised, so you go over there and march him home. Yeah, let's go get the kid. Arriving at the friend's house, you find your son, who miraculously notices the time when he sees you. He may think you were born yesterday, but at least he apologizes. That's something. You recognize that cheeky, mischievous look. You can't help but let him off this time. Yeah, alright, whatever. Alright, big time skip. A tight Christmas, day 48. You can't help but crack a smile as you look around the table. The snow has settled on the grass outside. The kids are pulling a cracker while... What the... Okay, again, it's probably an English thing, and I don't understand it. While your elderly mother tries to keep her eyes open, you did always have a soft spot for Christmas. You're sitting at the head of the table now, your dad's place. It's been a tense afternoon, everyone can feel it. It's the first time you've seen Chris since you refused to part with your passport. It's a big chance for Sam. The two siblings used to be inseparable. Christmas is usually such a nice time of year. The clatter of cutlery is all that can be heard as Chris stares pointedly at you. Make a toast. You stand, raise a glass. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm glad we're all here. There are murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Chris doesn't move. Yeah, we're all here. Now, no thanks to you. Chris says, Sam, come on now. It's Christmas. Can't we put that behind us? Yeah, I wasn't talking to you, asshole. Chris stands drunkenly. What did you say? Comes the hissed response. Enough, both of you. Sam insists. Let's forget it. Let's be the bigger person. You know what? Let me make this easier for you. Chris spits, heading for the door. Sorry, kids. Sam is standing now, too. Oh, nice, Alex. Real nice. What? How's it my fault? Blame your drunken brother. Sam exclaims, following Chris and slamming the door. The cheap canned vegetables taste bitter in your mouth as the meal continues in miserable silence. The clock chimes and you realize you've been chewing a mouthful of watery carrots for about 10 minutes. You're so grateful when your daughter begins telling you about her plans for the year. We'll see so many parts of the world and learn so much about other cultures, and how are you going to pay for all of this? I was hoping you'd help me, Susie admits, sheepishly, there we go, suddenly intent on an itch behind her ear. You sigh and lower your voice. You know money is really tight now that Grandma's staying here. We just don't have that much to spare, Susie, but please, Harriet's parents are helping her. Yeah, we'll find a way to make it work. Susie's grin stretches from ear to ear. You mean it? That's so great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She hugs you tight before pulling a cracker with her little brother. What does that mean? Their grandma watches them proudly. You try not to think about how you're going to find the money for the trip. Merry Christmas, sweetheart, is all you can say. Yeah, again, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the brother. I mean, I get it. He got screwed by the new government. That's terrible. You know, but at the same time, I'm not gonna obviously break the law with our new government overlords. No. You're leafing through a pile of accumulated post. Each new bill pulls on your gut like a lead weight until a flash of blue makes you pause. Recognizing the teal advance logo on the envelope, you tear it open. Dear Winston residents, thank you for sending us your passports for approval. We can now confirm their receipt and validation for the new assets and wealth redemption scheme. Hopefully this will make the last month of arguments with Sam worth it. As such, it's our pleasure. It's my pleasure. Okay. To enclose a check, which we hope you will see as a symbol not only of our gratitude to you, but of our unwavering commitment to creating a society free of inequality. Excuse me. The throbbing of your fresh, speed-induced paper cut is the only reason you can believe you're awake. A check, a sizable one at that. Chris was right. Advance really are redistributing wealth. It's not a good thing. We will continue to strive for the betterment of this nation and its people. Forwards together, Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. The weight of the financial burdens lessens slightly. It's bliss until we realize we're in full-blown communism and we are lined up around the block for a loaf of bread. Oh, I'm sorry. It's inappropriate. We're not supposed to mention that stuff. Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages. Finally getting some time alone together where you can forget about the noise of life. No kids, no work, just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. The zip finally gives up the battle and you drag the bulging suitcase down the stairs. The answering machine is blinking on the hall table. Good evening, Alex. This is Mr. Bozeman, calling to inform you that you will be required to work this weekend. Your heart sinks. Some information has come to light concerning the rising tensions between our nation and foreign powers, and the national nightly news team will be working around the clock to ensure we break the story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Shock turns to annoyance and then fury. What are you going to tell Sam? Sam comes down the stairs, brimming with excitement, kissing you. They grab the car keys from the dish and start to load your bags in the back. You sigh heavily. You're going to go, aren't you? The voice behind you makes you whip around. You nod simply. Of course you are. It's too much to expect for you to put your family first. For once, God forbid. I don't know why I bother, Alex. I really don't. And with that, Sam's gone. The front door swings silently in the silence. Okay, when will these people realize? Stop trying to piss off the New World Order. God damn it, it's not complicated. Your son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself striving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperation? Join the Advanced Go-Getters today. Forwards together. This doesn't sound like the youth club he told you about. It sounds like Scientology. Charlie grabs the flyer from you and thrusts a form into your hand so I can walk there straight from school, and Ben's sister can drop us home after so you won't have to do anything. Yeah, I'm not sending you to some government re-education program, because those generally don't work well. Sorry, mate, I just don't think this is the right place for you. You hand back the form gently. What? This is so unfair. Why? I know it seems that way, Charlie, but you'll understand soon enough when you aren't goose-stepping down Main Street. Draw your own conclusions of the reference I'm making. Some guys at work gave them to me. They can't go. Sam stands in front of you, brandishing 2 tickets. You see the title in bold letters. Alan James is right in front of you. I'm really unsure. What do you think? Shall we go? Free tickets are free tickets. He's a character, and he'll be hilarious if nothing else. Well, I mean, again, I'd like to say free tickets, and it would be funny to go sit and have a laugh at them. But at the same time, again, we have to realize we're in, like I said, a dystopian world where the government's probably looking at what movies we're going to, so it's probably not a smart plan. I'm sorry, you say, but I can't sit through any more of his crap. Sam bursts into fits of laughter. Thank God, I was worried you were going to say yes. You decided to stay in and eat pizza. Alan James isn't worth your time. After a particularly long day at work, you come home to find the post sorted into piles as Sam has taken to doing recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar Advanced logo, excuse me, and urgent respond immediately plastered on the front in a correspondingly urgent red font grabs your attention. Best to go get it over with to your Winston residence. This letter is to inform you that the advanced government has taken another step forwards in our fight for equality by nationalizing the largest private corporations and redistributing their resources among the citizens of the great country. The partnership bonds program ensures that wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. Great. Every household will become a partner in 2 of 4 carefully selected institutions chosen by Advance for consistent high performance and financial security. Please note all returns are based on public opinion and cannot be guaranteed. Please select one of the following: either Beholder Incorporated, whether it's cosmetics, clothing, or couture. We see the beauty in all our customers. Always a steal. Crazy Neil. Our business is your pleasure. From sport to travel. Sure, let's go with Pleasure Corp. And for your second bond, please select one of the following. Sure, let's go with Crazy Neil. Thank you for making your selection. Please return this form. Use the envelope provided. You will receive a report from your partnerships in 3 to 6 working months. It seems even Advance can't defeat the quagmire of governmental bureaucracy. Well, I mean, I know I've kind of danced around in the last 5 minutes between Nazi and communist references, but I mean, obviously this is we're under a communist government. Either way, this is clearly a bad thing. The future of the nation is in partnership. Forwards together. Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. I gotta say, I do like the Peter Clement guy because he's really fucking funny to me. Are we actually back in the... Oh, okay. I believe this is the last broadcast we have in the game at the moment. Maybe we should.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other 2, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that was nasty.
I got a feeling that we're now doing this job in place of our friend.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That well, eh?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his fate.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his
Check your prostate. Oh, that's getting selected.
I don't know why.
Joy of Screws.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
A house divided. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, embittered doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options to end the growing tensions.
Since splitting into 2 opposing camps on day 4 of the expedition, relationships between the factions and their leaders have only worsened.
Dr. Wong's team have successfully prototyped what they're calling shanks of deterrence, while Dr. Svorsborg and Horgensvoord claims to have fashioned a deadly toxin for the tips of her group's spears. I certainly wouldn't want to knock over their test tubes, Jeremy.
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
Spokesman Wentworth.
So I was looking at the pictures. I should have made my cuts better.
They might as well have the rest of it too. And while it's easy to laugh,
I so love this dude.
How desperate the formerly rich are to regain their power.
fallen angel, notorious addict Johnny Hamsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Since being banned from the national squad earlier this year after urinating on a referee during a friendly against East Grinchley, things seem to have gone
it's probably not a good plan.
Is his once celebrated role model the bad boy of sports?
And radical ideas. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a surprising new project that already has the markets raising an eyebrow.
Known for taking risks and bold strategies, could the adventurous CEO
tunnel through Earth
giant down a dark alley, or taking it to a new level of success?
We understand the Mobile Orientation Operational Borrowing Service will be a new international travel system based around the construction of a major tunnel through the centre of the Earth. Sophia Rimington,
I love this person's face.
Travelling from one side of the world to the other the matter of an afternoon. Geologists are concerned about the implications of digging a hole through the planet, while flat earthers claim it should be quite easy.
But yeah, obviously.
Exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months.
Goddamn, I was making you mention that thing. I started making a mention about that little toy. It reminds me of was it Funzo? Was that the Simpsons?
The interview, however, this station
does anybody remember Funzo?
Full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy? Who's that lady?
It's a lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it upsets them to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur. It's scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be, for just $89.99. And then...
Wait, did the kid just put in a commercial?
41!
And is that when he burst into flames? And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you.
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of
Timmy?
you two coming in here with your camera, trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions,
again?
and now you. Oh, you've made him cry with all three of his eyes.
Calm down, you're upset. Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation. Back to you.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark.
See, I'm trying a little something new. Obviously, I'm using my keyboard here to
response and bringing in this set of
switch my scenes.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry.
All right, that was not great.
Oh. She's very good.
Come on. I'm Tommy the Fingernail Harris, sporting legend. I've got it all. 4 world championships, 2 cars, a bidet, and an enlarged prostate.
Yeah, my segment grade was not great there.
Saying that naked protesters might try and spoil the Sports Board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news.
Speak for yourself.
On the bladder. This can cause trouble starting to pee, and it can cause laundry-based trouble between you and your she-demon of an ex-wife. So what caused this big old prostate in your bum? Well, sorry, me and the doctors, we don't know.
This is the greatest advertisement ever.
Your body changes.
Yeah, like I said, not the greatest segment. I'm trying something new. I'm trying to use my keyboard to swap my scenes.
For God's sake. Procedure is easy, it's quick, and it's not gay. I'm Tommy Fingernail Harris. Rectums, check them.
4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf.
Pick who's gonna start. Tell me.
Speaking to the
Don't just leave them all green so I have to guess.
healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan, you join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our 2 players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, is Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. And Striker, of course, first to start, as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin.
I want the rules of this game fully explained because this sounds like a great sport.
Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to striker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad, if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
I'm trying to explain this horseshit game.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streaker on the pitch. Apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible.
Oh shoot! Oh god!
Because it's quite nice.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. All right. Great. Okay. So back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap.
I accidentally had some stuff we shouldn't have shown.
No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fetid thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it.
I'm just trying to pay attention exactly where they are.
And ruining what was shaping
I think we showed some ass there. Got to be.
Thrusting himself in Harris.
God damn! It's actually kind of. Oh shit! Where?
I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over.
Like I'm trying to use the.
Genitals flying around for you to see.
I'm trying to.
Not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
There we go. Like it's kind of weird, like because you kind of want to use this one to kind of pick your.
And a lovely
to kind of pick where they're gonna, where they're gonna run around and try and pick which shot, but then yeah.
But unfortunately, because of
I don't know, you accidentally
Not bad.
Like I say, I'm trying to use this master shot, this long shot, to kind of figure out which side they're going to end up being on.
Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around.
But then the issue is I'm not paying attention to the other 3 shots to pick the one that isn't going to have any nudity on it. This I don't think we're going to have a very good broadcast here.
It dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor. It's not going in the bucket.
What is the point of this fucking game?
Striker. And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps. And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 bouts. Here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this.
Okay, so
I mean, sort of...
1 and 2 are good.
Genitals full to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Over to 1.
They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry
3's the only one without any nudity on it.
because these protesters are hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Yeah, if you're hearing that storm in the background, yeah, that's
getting moved back
that's gonna take place in the next segment.
She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on, from Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump.
How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face?
Contestants in, please.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is...
Calm down.
Everyone! Okay, the ref has agreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic Sports Board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back,
Ow!
I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after this message.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Your final years of being trapped in your own body as it's...
Yeah, like I said, that was not my best work. I'm waiting for the segment grade. It's probably not going to be too terribly high. I'm just hoping for it. Okay, you know what? Better than the first one. We got a D, I'll take it.
The storm has caused the odd power surge, and some of your controls might be a bit dangerous. Now, I know you're tough, and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Boozman out.
Your stay, you'll pass on.
So yeah, you kind of saw it there when I clicked that button, and it ended up shocking me. So we kind of have to be careful of this.
Isn't that what we all deserve at the end of a life well lived? Our expert legal team will help you make all those difficult arrangements, and our aftercare team will help your dependents through the grieving process, ensuring your final wishes are carried out efficiently and compassionately, all absolutely free. your health service.
I believe it's basically talking about, like, assisted suicide. I think that's the whole thing that's talking about.
I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't need much of channels. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People
whingers mostly.
The many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office brief does think you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Pet?
sorry, it's camera 4 like that.
When I was 13, me mam came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see, and she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid
Come on,
for
I can't
by the government.
avoid this interference until that thing goes away.
Citizen gets to pass on with dignity.
Damn it.
They choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. The people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into an
Jesus! Fuck! This man from has just given me an electric shock!
Oops.
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it from my asshole!
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
No, yes, sorry, my apologies all.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, that raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive! Right, no, this bastard's coming off!
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable. Oh, fuck my grandmother with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information blog tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
It could have been worse. Yeah, my overall.
The same, sir.
Actually, I suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so we transitioned the right on the league.
Alright, I thought the game crashed or something there for a second. No, looks like we're good.
Good evening. You know who we are. You've seen our symbols on your walls. We are the Resistance, and it's time you knew the truth.
What do you mean I can't say that?
Advance is lying to you.
How can we help you if we don't know who you are?
More than all of this, he was my laughter, my confidant, my friend.
Elderly are not a burden.
So, Mum's made the decision to unburden us, and now we have the chance to start a family.
Membership card is an ID card, no matter what they tell you.
We are getting reports of, oh God, millions of deaths across the continent.
Doesn't your family deserve a nutritious life?
Understand this. There is something wrong with the food.
No more! I've had enough of this shit!
I'm not afraid.
Hi, I'm Den.
Harry.
I'm Andy.
Lame.
I'm Jay.
Really old. And I'm Alex.
Unbelievable twat. Thank you so much for playing our game in Early Access. It's only through your amazing support that we can tell the awesome story that we have.
If you've enjoyed it,
And we really hope you have.
then please tell people about it.
Or maybe leave us a review on our Steam page, or come and talk to us in the discussions.
It really does help, and we do read everything obsessively sometimes.
Thank you so much again for playing, and we'll see you
See you
in
in episode
2!